It's bananas how much the world is caught up. Beware the bullseye. Right now, we are going for our 5th straight gold, but we have struggled in the in-between ones, the FIBAs and the other things. Last FIBA, we only got 4th place. Now we have, the prevailing American attitude is that, oh, well, we send you our B teams, and when the A teams show up, we kick your ass. And historically, that's been right. Again, we're going for our 5th straight gold medal. But, man, the world is caught up. If y'all caught the prelim games, dude, it was close every single game almost. I mean, South Sudan was Buster Douglas level upset. For people that don't realize, the South Sudan game, which took LeBron hitting a last-second shot, and shout out to LeBron, and I'll get to him a little bit more here in a minute. But, I mean, South Sudan, to give you an idea of how much the world has caught up to us in basketball, is a country only 13 years old and had, no indoor gyms whatsoever. They were a 43.5-point underdog. And people say that, and I don't think it really, sinks in of just how much that could have been the biggest embarrassment, and still kind of was, only winning by 1. Vegas, if you went to the people, the experts in Vegas, and said, hey, I have America winning today by 42, they thought that was unfair. They said, no, they should win by at least 43 or more points today. It took us one layup at the last second because we almost lost to South Sudan. I mean, the world now, we're going to be going against 60-plus NBA players on 12 teams in 12 other countries. Greece has Giannis. Serbia has Jokic. France has Wemby. Canada has SGA and Brooks. I mean, these are all teams that could take the gold from us and, again, take basketball from the country. And I know Canada technically, but you know what I mean? We invented basketball. Don't try this shit. America has been the basketball, capital of the world for a very long time. Now we got Serbia, France, Canada, and Greece all coming up looking for our necks. You cannot take our jobs.
They took our jobs.
It is embarrassing that we almost lost to South Sudan. And the other thing that's very prevalent as I'm watching these games, it is very clear to me that other countries' stars care about this a lot more than ours. Our country stars care, and I'm not saying they don't because, I mean, these guys, and it's a privileged position. They're all, $200 million and more going, to take their offseason to play for our country, and other, situations aren't always like that. But, I mean, the stars, the Jokic's, the Giannis's, the Wemby's, they care more. You can see it. And I mean, we can get into a whole discussion of why, and that's a whole other thing for a whole other day. All I'm saying is I've noticed it. The other country stars play harder for their country than they do at the NBA. And if you looked at the Serbia game, Jokic was a perfect example of that. Jokic, Mr. I don't give a shit. I just want to horse race and drink beer and go home. I don't want to go to parade. That guy suddenly was locked in defensively. He's calling out assignments, and he's focused, and he's fired up. I'm like, who the hell? The same fat Serbian I've seen in Denver just limp his way through I guess I win. Did I score 40? I don't give crap. I want to go home. Suddenly this dude is locked in like he's Kobe in Game 7, and I'm like, holy shit, these guys really care about this. This is something they take very, very seriously, that America takes seriously, but not everyone on the team, and you can just see the difference. Their stars care more. For whatever reason you want to tell me is another discussion, but they clearly care more about this than we do, so that's another reason it's scary. We did, assemble the Avengers, and I do like the nickname because I'm a Marvel guy. Again, shout out Deadpool 3. Wolverine was amazing. But, I mean, we brought Steph in for the first time. We brought back Anthony Davis. We now got Anthony Edwards in his first Olympics. Guys like Booker and Embiid. I'm sure that was a little interesting getting the whole visa or whatever he had to do to get us on, get him on our team, but that's great. Kevin Durant is going to come back now from the prelims. A lot of people are saying, hey, you can't judge what happened there because we didn't have Kevin Durant yet. Is he going to be the savior? I don't know if it's that serious, but obviously Kevin Durant, one of the greatest ever, will help. You get one loss allowed. We've done this before in previous Olympics in the early round. So if we lose one of the first ones, we don't have to necessarily panic. But once we get to the medal round, it's like an NCAA tournament, man. It's one and you're out. And almost every of the last games were close. 4 of the last 7 games that USA has played was decided by 7 points or less. South Sudan was down to the last 8 seconds. It's this is kind of not just the super team argument that we need to get into. The other problem, besides the fact that, again, that the other stars from other countries seem to care more about this, is that getting this level of talent to know their roles and watching them have to reset the hierarchy when they don't have a lot of time to do it is a very difficult thing that other countries that have good players, they don't really have to deal with. And so that's another part that needs to be addressed, is that it's harder for the USA versus the rest of the world when you have nothing but 12 stars and they all have to find, only 2 or 3 can be the man or the scorer. The rest of them got to find a role. And there's too much, an idea of, well, they can do it. Just because they can do it, they're not used to doing it. You got to remember, all 12 of these guys individually, except for Derek White, come from, a situation where people do the work for them. Just because they can do it doesn't mean that they're used to doing it or that they're going to accept that role quickly when they're not used to being in that situation. Suddenly, again, if you're a mid-level guy like a Bam Adebayo, hey, don't worry about scoring. You got to, just worry about rebounds and defense. And it's like, bitch, I score 20 a game. I'm a star player on my team. I'm an all-star. It's like, oh, I'm not here. Not here, you're not. You need to know your role and play your position. Other countries, they have their main guys. It's like, dude, it's clearly Jokic's team. It's clearly Giannis's team. It's clearly Wemby's team. And, a couple other guys. But other than that, everyone else just fit in, get in where you fit in. Basketball is beautiful, but it's also cursed in that way because other team sports, it's easy. Baseball is very easy. This is your position. This is all you do. Cool, I got it. Football, same thing. We've separated stuff. You're a lineman, you block. Well, I can catch, I can run, I don't give a shit. That's not your job. Your job is here to block today. Everyone else gets to kind of be like, hey, this is what you do, focus on that, and do it to the best of your ability. Basketball has to be kind of decided almost not even verbally. Like a lot of times you just kind of, it's like dogs in a dog park. Dogs can kind of just figure out, who's the alpha and who's not. And they don't sit there and write notes and do a pros and cons list. You know what I mean? There's just a way of a natural order that is in all animals, including us, where we kind of figure out, the whole system and who's at the top and who goes down to the bottom, who does what, who gets the glory, who has to, pick up the scraps. And so doing that in the USA basketball format, when you have 12 guys who are not used, none of them, to picking up the scraps. You know what? I don't shoot today, bitch. I'm going to do my thing. No. You got to play defense. You got to rebound. You have to do other things that include helping this team win that no one's going to really pay attention to. And you're not going to get any glory for it, but actually that's what's going to make us better. At the most, you can have like 2 ball handlers. You can have maybe 3 scorers. But most of them, other than that, you need 3 and D players. You need rebounders. You need hustlers. You need guys who will dive for loose balls. You need people that aren't worried about getting in foul trouble. You need all this stuff that 12 alphas aren't getting used to doing, suddenly have to adjust to it. And the best way I can compare it again is like dogs at a dog park. It's funny. Sometimes the little one will be the biggest one of the group, and I don't know how they figure it out, but they kind of do. Basketball is beautiful and cursed that way in that you have to figure it out, and USA is going to have to figure it out. Again, 7 of the last games, 4 of them have been by 7 or points or less. It has been a close contest. So it's going to be a lot of in the old dogs we trust too, which is interesting. There's kind of an old and young battle. Again, Kevin Durant's coming back. Anthony Edwards is arguably the man. He wants to be the man. He claims he wants all the smoke, but it's hard for the other guys to give it all to a 22-year-old. I think he'll be the third option. Steph, because of his lack of aggression sometimes and kind of wanting to be, given the leadership title, I think will be the secondary scorer. The interesting thing, and the thing that showed up so far in all of this and what you should watch for in USA basketball, is that at 39 years old, pop this video up for him here, Mateo, LeBron James is clearly the alpha right now. Like I said, a lot of these games have been close. He has been king clutch, man. LeBron at 39 years old is leading this team, both on the court statistically, off the court with his attitude, and then also on the court with his attitude of just, projecting strength and, put the team on my shoulders and I got this. That game against Germany, he reminded me of MJ. He reminded me of Kobe. That attitude that I'm not going to effing lose today, it seems to have finally rubbed off on him of like, dude, don't be the team player. Don't be the nice guy. We need you to kick some ass, and we need you to do it right now. I'm suddenly watching LeBron. He did it again. Germany, he had 11 points in the fourth quarter in the last 4 minutes. South Sudan, he had 25 points in 23 minutes, the game-saving shot with 9 seconds left. At 39 years old, LeBron James is on the arguably best roster that we've assembled since the 92 Dream Team, and he is clearly the dude. Like, he's muscling cats. He's hitting threes, again, barking at other dudes. He's telling them, hey, at the end of the game, clear the hell out of the way. I got this. MJ, Kobe, Bird. I've seen this before. I hadn't seen it much through him. I'm enjoying it. And again, it's fascinating as he hit that last one. He's flexing now. This is his new move. But, teammates are out at half court. He's leading this team at 39 years old, about to be 40, on a very, very good roster. LeBron James is clearly the best player on the floor. So I'm glad to see it. But I do got to throw this in. Hit the next picture for me, Mateo. Where's this been, man? I don't want to, I called it the withered soldier here. And I'm making a joke a little, but I mean, at 39 years old, for him to be the best player on the floor on a very, very talented roster, it's hard for me to not go like, dude, where was this at 29? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where was this when you were younger? Where was this attitude, this killer? And a lot of times we don't know what we have until we lose it, or we're about to lose it then suddenly. But I mean, it just, it makes you wish, man. It really does, because LeBron, look, people get so butthurt about this conversation. LeBron James, and I know I'm going to anger some of you with the LeBron stuff here. His legacy is going to be, in my opinion, his longevity. His sustained greatness is second to nobody. LeBron James is going to do his 21st season. Again, 40 years old. He is still, 25, 7-7. And, the argument is going to be that he had longer, more sustained, more productive careers than any other NBA player. The only one who's actually been around long enough to see his son play with him. But you look at Kareem at the end of his career, MJ at the end of his career, it might have been for different reasons or whatever. They weren't what he was at the end of his career. So the argument is always going to be with LeBron, sustained greatness, longevity.
It's the only argument I need, Sean.
He has the most career points. He's fourth in assists career-wise. He has 4 MVPs. He was in 20 All-Star games. But it's hard for me to not go, dude, that's cool and that's great. But I mean, I wanted to see at 29 something we never should have ever been able to replace. I mean, it really is. When you watch him at 39 do his thing, it's like, bro, you should have put up numbers at 20. Like, if anything, it just makes my argument even more.
It's the only argument I need, Sean.
Like, instead of, a lot of people want to point and go, oh, that's great. See what he's doing? It's like, well, dude, 10 years ago, why wasn't he putting up numbers that we haven't even, should never be touched? I mean, honestly, he was that level of talented. I mean, it's kind of like a Lennox Lewis or a Klitschko in boxing of like, it's impressive, but I'd rather watch Mike. I still consider Mike or Ali greater. Sustained greatness is awesome, and doing things that were your top 3 arguably every year. But, dude, he should have been. Bro, he really should have been. Again, most career points, 4th career assist, 4 MVPs, 20 All-Star games, yet he only led the league in scoring once. He never led the league in assist. He was 3rd still in MVPs to MJ and Kareem. He has 3 All-Star MVPs, but he played in 20 of them. He never had a Defensive Player of the Year. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, dude, that was 6'8", 260 with every skill set on the planet. This dude, oh my God, at the height of his powers, he really should have been like, I'm not even joking, 35, 10, and 10. LeBron James, arguably, watching him do what he's doing right now at 39, I just, in my head go, bro, at 28, 29, this dude should have easily averaged 35, 36 points a game, at least 9 to 10 rebounds and 10 assists. I mean, the fact that he didn't is criminal and unfair to the talent and the work ethic that he had, that he never had more of that killer instinct. I mean, at the height of his powers, in case you want to bitch at me, I'll give you some numbers here. I mean, like in 06, he was averaging 31 points, 7 and 7. In 08, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. 2010, same thing. Around 37, 8, 37, 9, 38, 7, something around those 3 numbers. And I mean, look, dude, at 8 years old, he was averaging 29, 8, and 7. So he's had the same stats, and that makes no sense other than, there really doesn't make sense. There's no reason at 39 he should have the same numbers he did at 29. And you look at other guys that were great or had great years. I don't think anybody puts Larry Bird over LeBron, at least statistically, but I mean, in 85, Bird averaged 26, 10, and 7. Giannis, I don't think anyone puts Giannis over LeBron, but I mean, in 2019, he not only averaged 30 points, he averaged 14 rebounds and almost the same amount of assists and 6. Jokic, big, fat, lazy Serbian who very talented guy, 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists in 2022. Russell Westbrook, does anybody put Russell Westbrook over LeBron James? No, but I mean, there was the year when he averaged triple-double. Russell Westbrook averaged 31.6, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. So if Russell Westbrook in 2016 could do that, yes, LeBron could have done that, and he should have done that. And look, 4 of 10 in the finals. I'm sorry, he could have used more of that killer instinct. I didn't want to get into the Michael Jordan thing, but I'm gonna.
It's the only argument I need, Sean.
I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like, there was the year, like, in Michael Jordan, it was 87, I believe, 87, 88. Averaged 35 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and in that year won the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. He won the scoring title. He was the leader in steals. He was the All-Star Game MVP, and he was the slam dunk champion in one goddamn year. That's what I'm saying. Like, I watch him at 39 and go, God dang it, he should have. We should have been like, dude, this dude is the greatest thing we've ever seen. And it's not that he's not, but he's still in a discussion. I guess when I watch him now, I get frustrated because I'm like, dude, it shouldn't have even been a discussion. At 27-28, the height of your powers, you should have put up numbers that were close to like, not Chamberlain, because that was different. But I mean, of like, dude, this is insane. How does Russell Westbrook have a better peak season than... You know what? I'll move on because I get into LeBron.